أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم. We continue with Surah Al-Muzzammil. As we mentioned before, this is the Surah number 3, revelation-wise, early Surah. And this was revealed to prepare the Prophet and the Sahaba for the challenging time ahead of them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Muzzammil advised 7 things to do, mostly in the night. And then the next one will be the next one is Surah Al-Muddassir, which in the order, but Muddassir was revealed before this Surah. So in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the ahkam of the day, what should be you doing in the day. 7 things in the night, 6 things in the day, these 13 things in Muzzammil and Muddassir in the very early time of Islam. So the things of the night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advised, the first one is Qiyamul Layl. That Salat of Tahajjud was fard before the 5 times Salat was fard. And how much time you should spend in the night in Tahajjud? Half or 1/3 of the night or 2/3 of the night. So this is amal number 1, Qiyamul Layl. You wake up and pray Tahajjud. So Tahajjud, any Salat which is performed after Isha Salat and before the Adhan of Fajr is called Tahajjud. So if suppose you say, I cannot wake up for Tahajjud, it is hard. So upon you, so what you do? You pray the 4 fard of Isha, then you pray the 2 sunnah of Isha, then you pray 2 rak'ah or 4 rak'ah Tahajjud. Okay, and then you pray 3 rak'ah witr. So you will get the reward 50-60% of Tahajjud. So the best Tahajjud is the one that you wake up from the sleep. But definition-wise, any Salat between Isha and Adhan of Fajr you will be entitled that you are Tahajjud wala, you are Tahajjud, no problem. Okay? So that Tahajjud was fard in the beginning of Islam. Then the ulama divided that for us it becomes sunnah now. And for the Prophet it remained fard. But the correct qawl is that the Prophet had only 5 salat fard, everybody. So it was sunnah, but more emphasized for the Prophet. And for everybody, it is now sunnah mu'akkada. Now here, look, the ulama say that amal number 2 is what? You read the Qur'an slow, clear. Okay? وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. We discussed this yesterday. But this Qur'an recitation is in Tahajjud or outside Tahajjud. Because look, it comes in continuation with Tahajjud. نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا, in the same ayah. So of course it means the recitation in Tahajjud, but outside Tahajjud, in Taraweeh, in your first Salat, it should also be, the Quran should be very slow and clear, okay? And you think about the meaning and all the rules. It is وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Here another mas'ala, another rule the ulama say, that look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, pray Tahajjud, right? Then in Tahajjud, what are you doing? In Tahajjud you are doing ruku'ah, in Tahajjud you are doing sujood, you are doing qu'ud, but Allah didn't mention anything. Allah picked only recitation of the Quran in Tahajjud. What that mean? That mean that the Rukn Azam of Hajj is what? Wuquf Arafah. The Rukn Azam of the Salat is what? Recitation of the Quran. Okay, so the whole Quran, the whole Salat is around what? That you recite the Quran in it. This is what the Salat is for. Okay? So that is, for me also the ulama say, like for example, look, this is Imam Abu Hanifa, and his student number 1 is called Imam Abu Yusuf. So who should be leading the Salat? Who deserve to lead the Salat? So Imam Abu Hanifa say, أعلمهم بكتاب الله. أعلمهم, the one who has more knowledge. And Imam Abu Yusuf say, أقرأهم, the one who read good and who has more memorized more. So the student and the sheikh, they are different of opinion. So Imam Abu Yusuf say, look at this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that أَوْزِدْ عَلَيْهِ in tahajjud, Allah mentioned only tilawat. So it means tilawat is more important. And Qari can recite the Quran better, so that is why Aqra'uhum should do. Imam Abu Yusuf say. Imam Abu Yusuf say, when Umar bin Khattab was appointing an imam for Taraweeh, so he didn't appoint it. Ali radiallahu anhu, who has more knowledge, Abdullah ibn Masud, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Abbas, they were big scholars, but he picked who? Ubay ibn Ka'b. He was he read good. The dalil of Imam Abu Yusuf. Imam Abu Yusuf also say, the hadith of the Prophet also say, Ya Ummul Qawm aqra'uhum. That the hadith also say that Aqra should be leading the salat. Imam Abu Hanifa say no. He say, hadith say Aqra. Why? Because at the time of Sahaba, every Aqra was A'lam also. So the Sahaba, when you say he's Aqra'uhum, mean he's A'lamuhum. So there was no definition. Every Aqra at the time of Sahaba was what? A'lam. He was Alim also. So that is why it say Aqra. So here the hadith say Aqra, but in reality it means A'lam. And also Imam Abu Hanifa say that ilm you need, qira'at you only need in the qira'at. But ilm you need in sajda. Okay, you need in ruku', in the whole salat. You need ilm. So what that means, according to Imam Abu Hanifa, suppose there is a scholar and he recited only one juz of the Quran and his recitation is average, not the best, he will be leading the salat. Okay, according to Imam Abu Yusuf, that young Qari who recites beautiful and he has more Quran with him, he will be leading the salat. Okay, so this is just a difference of opinion. So look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ tartila. You read the Quran with tartil, which means slow. Okay, this Qiyamul Layl and this Quran with tartil, this is in preparation for what? Inna sanulqi alayka qawlan thaqila. Only Surah Alaq has come. Only Surah Mudassir has come. Now we are in Muzzammil, and the whole Quran is supposed to be revealed. And when the Quran is revealed, it not just be only revelation, there will be halal and haram with it also. And then you have to not only practice it, you have to preach it to the whole alam. And not only to the whole alam which exists, but the alam until the day of judgment, you have to make intizam and arrangement to make sure that the last human being which will be before the day of judgment, he gets this message. This is a big. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, you give training to yourself by linti tahajjud so that you can become sturdy. Okay? Why? Inna, indeed we, sanulqi. Sa means soon. Nu mean we. Okay, ilqa mean dropping, sending down. Soon we are sending down, alayka upon you, qawlan, a talk, which means a discourse. Thaqila, very heavy. Okay, the Quran will be very heavy. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the wahi used to come, when the Prophet will be on a she-camel, so the she-camel, because of the heaviness of the wahi, will sit down. It could not stand anymore. And in extreme cold weather, the Prophet will be what? Under stress, and he will be sweating. Okay, and Allah say, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. It is so heavy, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, indeed we are going to send down upon you a discourse which is very heavy. So for that you need to pray linti salat in the night to make you spiritually strong. What is the second wisdom in the linti qiyamul layl? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, inna nashi'atal layli. Inna mean indeed. Nashi'a, yansha'u mean getting up, raising. Okay? Washabun nasha'a fi ibadatillahi, when you grow. So here it means getting up. Al-layli, in the night. When you get up in the night, hiya, that getting up is ashaddu, very severe, strong, wata'an, crushing wise. It crush your ego. Okay, so ashaddu wat'an mean it is very heavy, very powerful to crush your ego and to make you more humble, to make you spiritually strong. Okay, because sweet sleep. Okay, and you don't want, and then you just blow. Okay, a big blow on your ego, on your nafs, and then you wake up. You keep on doing it again and again and again. Then your whole character will change. You become a different person. Okay, and you can tolerate the hardship for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, these like for example, look, you stand for 20 rak'ah in Taraweeh. Why? Because you have done some effort upon yourself. Otherwise, the common people come, even 2 rak'ah, the one who are not trained and who don't have the knowledge and who don't have a strong connection with Allah, they cannot. 2 rak'ah become like a mountain upon them. You know, it is very difficult. 4 rak'ah is very difficult. But a person with full devotion, with full concentration, for 2 hours he is standing in the nights of Ramadan, he has fasted in the day also. So it is not the job of an ordinary person. It means that person he is a little bit, he is trained. There is something in his heart. That is why Allah is giving you the tawfiq. So this getting up in the night, it is what? It is a big crusher of the ego, ashaddu wat'an, a very heavy crusher. Okay, so now look, this is wat'an. A very famous qira'at of this word is also wita'an. So wita'an in Arabic means mawafaqa. Mawafaqa means coincidence. So if you say here ashaddu wita'an, which means your heart, your mind, your tongue, and your ears, they all will have coincidence at the time of the tahajjud when you read the Qur'an. Look, like for example, in the daytime, when you read the Qur'an, so what it is? The tongue is reading the Qur'an, and the mind is in the business. And the ears, they are listening to the noises of the children. So there is no coincidence between the ears and the tongue and the mind at Zohar time or in Maghrib time. But at the Tahajjud time, you don't hear no noises. Okay? And your tongue is reading the Quran. And your mind is also thinking about the Quran. So if you read it, ashaddu wita'an, it is very effective to bring coincidence and muwafaqat. Okay? If you read that one. Both are correct. Wa aqwamu qila. Aqwamu qila means a speech. And aqwam means straight. Okay? So getting up in the night, make the speech straight. Which speech? You are speaking of the Quran also, it will be straight. And later in the day, when you do da'wah, tabligh, okay, when you do ta'aleem, and when you talk, your talk will be to the point. Why? Because you have prayed tahajjud in the night. Okay, so tahajjud is your tool. It is the tool, zadud da'i. It is the tool of the one who called the people toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or any person who is perform any khidmat of diniya. He is imam, he is muazzin, okay, he is a community leader. His tool is his hammer, and his screwdriver is what? Tahajjud. If he don't pray tahajjud, all will be just slogan. It will be empty. There will be no quwwat in his services. Okay, it will be hollow. So that is very important, that if you want your qeel to be aqwam, if you want your speech to be straight and to the point and effective, what should you do? Nashi'at al-layli, wake up in the night and pray tahajjud. Linti salat, okay, as much as you can. Samajh gaye meri baat? You know, one of the imam, he was talking to me yesterday. He said, these people, they have so much enthusiasm that they come for qiyamul layl at tahajjud time. He said, the masjid is full. So, and we tell them that, look, tahajjud, it is better to pray in your home. Because Taraweeh is enough that you did with congregation. So he said, we talk the people that why you have so much enthusiasm to. He said, the people, they say, we don't know how to pray linti tahajjud at home. The people are not trained. They say, we don't know how to. So individual worship in khalwat, the people have wahshat from it. They are not trained. They don't know how to do that. So, but this is the blessed night of Ramadan, blessed time. They want to do something. So there is only exit for them. Let's say go to the masjid and pray the tahajjud in Jamaat. You know? So this thing is gone from the ummah. That you have a little corner in your home and you wake up. And your wife is in the other room, or in the other place, you are there, you are begging, you are crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This thing is not there anymore. Okay, this is the thing what will it do? If when Allah see people like this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delayed the decision of the punishment. When Allah see the people who populate the masjid, when Allah see the people who cry in the night to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَاسْتَقْبِلُوا أَمْوَاجَ الْبَلَاءِ بِالدُّعَاءِ وَالتَّضَرُّعِ. The waves of calamity which are rushing, coming toward you, you face them with dua and tadarru'. Samajh gaye meri baat, right? So this is how it is, because to make in khalwa, In loneliness, give training to yourself. You just wake up for 2 rakat tahajjud short, and then Allah will open your mind and your heart, and you will become accustomed to lengthy tahajjud also. Then in the late part of the night in Ramadan, you don't have to go to the drive and speech and look for that. Right? Because individual worship is very important. Not just all the time, only in congregation, only in congregation. Okay? Then, what is the fourth wisdom of the Qiyamul Layl that you need to wake up? Inna laka fin nahari sabhan tawila. Indeed, for you in the day is a very lengthy occupation. Sabhan means when you swim. Okay, so when you swim in the water, it is also called sabhan. And when you swim in the air, that is also called sabhan. وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. Allah says all the planets, they are swimming in their orbit. وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the day you swim. Allah didn't say you walk, you run. Why? Because look, suppose there is a walima of your son. And then somebody is calling you, oh, there's a problem in the parking. The other say you need to, the guests are waiting for you. The other say the food is ready. So that person, he don't have any one direction. Sometimes he goes here, sometimes he goes there, sometimes he goes there. Because in swimming, you go in all directions. You go up, down, right, and left. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, in the daytime, you have to swim in the people. Because you are so busy, everybody is pulling him toward himself. So you need some time so that there is only me and only you. Okay? So for that, you know, in the other place in the Quran also, Allah say, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. When you are done with the busyness of the day, فَانْصَبْ, do effort in the night, وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَبْ. Right? So these are the 4 wisdoms of Qiyamul Layl. One is that a heavy discourse is about to reveal to you. The second is it will crush your ego. The third is it will make your speech straight. And the fourth one is that you don't have time in the day to give it to me. So give me some time in the night. Lelo.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuha, O Al-Muzzammil, the covered one in blanket. Qum, stand al-layli in night, illa qalila, except only a little. Nisfahu, half, stand half of it, winkus, or one or less than that, or decrease it from the half. Minhu, from it, qalila, a little. Awzid, or increase, alayhi, from the half. Warattil, and recite Quran tartila, with tartil, slow recitation. Inna, indeed we, sanulkiya, soon we will send down, alayka, upon you, qawlan, a talk, discourse, thaqila, heavy. Inna, indeed, nashi'ata, getting up, al-layli, in the night, hiya, in it, ashaddu, is hard,
severe,
is severe, wat'an, crusher, wa aqwamu, and
wat'an is masdar, so you say like crushing wise.
Crushing wise. Wa aqwamu, and the standing,
the most straight, the most straight.
The most straight, qila, your talk, the talk. Inna, indeed, laka, for you, fin nahari, in the night, sabh, in the day, sabhan, work, tawila, lengthy. Was
okay. Right? Okay, finish. Okay, now here.
Mim mushaddad gunna.
Here.
Yailin.
Here.
Ikhfa.
Here.
Izhar.
Here.
Qalqala.
Here.
Yailin. Noon mushaddad gunna. Yailin. Wawlin. Ikhfa. Noon mushaddad gunna. Yailin. Qalqala. إخفاء إدغام مع الغنة قلقلة نون مشدد غنة نون مشدد غنة قلقلة إخفاء يعيلين قلقلة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها المزمل قم الليل إلا قليلا نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا إنا سنلقي عليك قولا ثقيلا إن ناشئة الليل هي أشد وطئا وأقوم قيلا إن لك في النهار سبحا طويلا واذكر اسم ربك وتبتل إليه تبتيلا.
وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله.